I'm Carlette, and I received a number of resumes for our recent vacancy. I had to go through hundreds of resumes, and I found out a few things that I thought I would share with you, because as an employer myself and speaking to other employers, these are the things that you need to do to have your resume pop. And it begins and ends with customization. Cookie cutter resumes do not make it. I appreciate that you want a job and you may have sent out countless resumes to different companies, but take a moment to vet the company and tailor your resume to the company and the position for which you're applying. Because when it's a generic resume, we can tell, and if you don't have interest in our company, why should we have interest in you? So let's talk about how it is that you can design your resume to catch a prospective employer's eye. Templates are good. Templates make it possible for us to design a really creative resume without necessarily being creative ourselves. So by all means, search the internet and find appropriate and eye-catching templates. You can find templates at templates.microsoft.com is a great place for you to find templates. Try and find something, however, that's appropriate to the information that you're trying to give. Try not to go with the more popular templates, because if people see the same templates over and over again, they're going to get bored. And make sure it reflects your personal style. Also, on the matter of templates, I see this a lot. Someone uses a template and fills in some of the information and then leaves other information blank, and then I can tell that it's a template because it says type information here in the template. Seriously, people, don't do that. Make it easy to find your contact information. Sometimes I've seen templates and the contact information is in a really small font towards the bottom of the page. No, make your contact information prominent and easy to see. I'm not saying that it needs to overshadow the resume, but if we like you and we want to find you, don't make it a search for us to find you. I'm going to recommend that your body text be at least 11 points or larger. If you're trying to cram everything into a one-page resume and therefore drop to 9 or 10-point font, that doesn't make sense, yes? So make sure that it's easy to read by not using a font that's smaller than 11 or 12 points, depending on who you ask. I can't believe I have to say this. Ensure your name is visible on the page. Lots of times I've seen designs where the name is off to one side but not on the other side, or you can't clearly see it, or sometimes they have the address above the name because they think it's stylistic, and then you have to dig a little deeper to find the name. I've even seen a resume that left off the person's name altogether. Seriously, I really did. So make sure that your name, like your contact information, is prominent and easy to access on your resume. Finally, use space well. White space is good. Don't be afraid that you have some white space. At the same time, don't make it too dense, because if you have too much information, it becomes hard to read. I can't tell you what the right percentage is of text to white space, but what I can tell you is that if you pick it up, you should be able to glance at it and feel comfortable reading it. If you pick it up and it looks like a scientific text because the text is too dense, or if you pick it up and it looks very sparse, like there's no information on it, then you've missed the mark. Make sure that you use space well. With that said, let's move on to the delivery. For our listing, I asked applicants to submit their resume with a customized cover letter in a PDF format. Half of them came as a Word format. Now, you don't want to send your resume in the Word format because, one, you have to make sure that the person has a compatible version of Word. Two, you can send your resume and somebody else can change it. I've seen this a lot. People submit their resume with 2 or 3 phone numbers, sometimes to a house, and then you don't know who's answering the phone. Other times I've seen people submit resumes with an inappropriate email address. Of course, I've also tried to reach out to a candidate because I've sent them an email, and then because they don't check the address frequently, they missed my offer. All of these are unacceptable. When submitting your resume, make sure you use a professional, frequently checked email address, and if possible, put one contact number that they can get through to. And if it is that you have to put a home number or a number that's answered by other people, make sure to let the persons who are answering the phone know that you might be expecting a really important phone call. To me, this is the most important tip. Have a customized cover letter detailing why you are the best candidate for the job. Cover letter doesn't need to say, oh, I saw your ad on this date at this time. It doesn't need to say that. The cover letter doesn't need to say, oh, I have this experience or oh, I have this qualification. No, the cover letter needs to say, I am perfectly suited for your job because I have a passion for what it is that you do and I have experience and education in that regard. The cover letter is like your sell sheet. Make sure that it sells you. And here's another quick tip. If you decide to include your address, perhaps because you live out of the country or out of the parish or state that the job is being offered, make sure to place in the cover letter if you're willing to relocate. Don't let a prospective employer read through the whole resume, be impressed, and then find out that you have to take a plane to come to work every day. That doesn't cut it. Explain if it is that you are willing to relocate for your job. All right, with these content tips, I know that you are well prepared to create a truly impressive resume, and I look forward to seeing it, or I look forward to you getting the job that you want because you caught the right employer's eye.